The AP broke the news this morning that Obama's meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin is going to be canceled over the rift over Russian granting asylum to Snowden. What do you think is next on this? This is actually currently our splash here at the Huffington Post, as you must know.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, this is really remarkable. I think the president is still going to be meeting in St. Petersburg, I believe, at a G20 summit. So there will be a Russia-U.S. sort of meeting there. But what the president said about Snowden in the Leno interview, I think, is really striking, because he basically said, Snowden could have just come forward to the government. He didn't have to release this stuff to the public and create what the president said were national security problems for the country. That's not really true. In the past, when people have gone through normal chains of command, like Thomas Drake, who ended up leaking some information that the Obama administration was not happy about, they've been shut down, but through the official channels, leaked the information because the programs were really inefficient, and the leak ended up just making the administration look bad. It didn't really jeopardize anybody, and the Obama administration went after him with a ton of bricks and tried to bring a criminal case against him. They ultimately didn't succeed, but Thomas Drake works in an Apple store now instead of being an intelligence analyst. So right. That's not the way the Obama administration has handled leaks in the past. And in fact, because this information is classified, when you do go forward to government officials like members of Congress can't do anything about it. Ron Wyden asked James Clapper, the director of national intelligence, point blank, whether there were any programs that were collecting large amounts of data on millions of Americans, and Clapper flat out lied. So if you do go through the proper channels, as Obama suggests, nothing may happen. Members of Congress can't even talk about it, and the administration will lie to Congress about what they're actually doing. So I just think the credibility here of the administration saying, the onus is on Snowden to follow the proper channels of law, it just strikes me as a really remarkable statement.
And as you know, we've had some of those whistleblowers on who would echo that very point. But on that note, Zach, the president weighed in on some of those recent concerns over privacy and tracking Americans' phone call data. Let's take a listen.
Should be skeptical about the potential encroachments on privacy. None of the revelations show that government has actually abused these powers, but they're pretty significant powers.
Zach, he went on to say that the American people need to feel confident that there's, quote, proper oversight on these programs. Do you think Washington's actually headed in that direction?
Absolutely not. I mean, James Clapper, who flat out lied to the public and Congress about these programs, not only isn't being prosecuted for lying to Congress, he still has a job. He's still director of national intelligence. The idea that there is any sort of accountability involved in these programs and the type of information that the administration distributes about them, I think is a real stretch. And what Obama just said, there's no evidence that these programs have been abused. That's not at all obvious. There was just a report the other day that there's a secretive unit within the Drug Enforcement Administration that's using national security data collected by groups like the NSA in criminal investigations. In order to use that information, someone's got to be looking at what's actually in these types of records. They can't just be looking at okay, somebody so and so called so and so. You have to know the content of those calls to gauge whether or not there's something criminal worth investigating. So it's not at all clear that these programs are in fact as benign as the president says they are.